Quiet on the set. Take one.
You're watching Fringe TV.
We are Green Chair Dance Group. I'm Sarah Gladwin. Hannah DeKaiser.
And I'm John Beauregard. We're missing our fourth member, Greg Holt, this morning. He is still abroad. But yeah, it's just the four of us. We love to dance. And I think, what makes it a little bit different, it's contemporary dance. Who knows exactly what that means. I think our goal is to be less, of a visual group and more kinesthetic, body at risk sort of thing, and a real feeling of weight and contact.
I think we're all pretty passionate about it.
Yeah. $1 million question.
I mean, for me, it's kind of like you get gripped by it. There's something about the immediacy of the thing, and it feels important to communicate things in an entirely different way and to take advantage of this whole kinesthetic thing, this whole physical body presence that we have that can really get overlooked.
We've been lucky enough to find people with whom we really enjoy working and with whom we share this sort of aesthetic and choreographic drive that we want to make work that other people aren't making, that has this blending of really large physical movement and then gestural stuff and really eye contact, and we're people on stage. We're not just bodies moving around self-indulgently or abstractly or anything like that. I think it's that we're there and we're very connected to each other, and that connection with one another, we hope, reads to the audience and makes them connect to us and gives them a way into the movement and into the dance.
Yeah, we're not just interested in dance in terms of the geometry and the spatial component and moving around through space. Like, that all happens, but I do think that it's this collaboration and this unique bond that we all have, where we're really relating to each other on stage. We're really thinking about how we're interacting with each other. Definitely.
Yeah, I feel comfortable with that.
Yeah.
Saying that. Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't sit on stage and cry. It's not that type of emotion. I think it's this emotion coming through the physicality and through the partnering and the connecting to each other.
I think we always try to keep a sense of humor for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And that's another thing. All this is kind of, talking about, connection on stage, and it's not about individuals, because our process is really 100% collaborative, which is exhausting sometimes to have, 4 choreographers, and sometimes it's the opposite, because there is that effect of without one person directing everything, it can be hard to make things move, but it's really rewarding when you're firing on all, whatever the expression is, and firing on all cylinders, and it's community work in a certain sense. You guys can tell this story.
We were sitting in my dorm room, 4 years ago now, 3.5 years ago, and we were all in college, and we wanted to sort of, get off campus and perform in Philadelphia, so we decided to sign up for the Fringe Festival. I don't know if any of us had ever even been to the Fringe Festival before. But we were sitting around in my room, and it was going to be just a one-time project, and we really needed a name, and we were going through the thesaurus, looking online, looking around the room, anything for inspiration. And I think Hannah was sitting in a green chair in my room, and so I was like, oh, what about Green Chair Dance Group? And we kind of passed over it at first, and then kept coming back to it, and it sort of just stuck. At the end of the day, there was nothing we liked better. Here we are, 4 years later.
Yeah, and after the project, the dancing stuck, and so the name, I guess, kind of just got pulled along with it. So we've put together three. Whoa.
This one was 4.
That's true. We've put together a number of evening-length kind of repertoire performances. Thus far, because of the way we work, because it is collaborative, they've been similar in structure, but I'm sorry, I'm babbling. It's kind of hard for me to put it into a box. But
I mean, we've mostly done evening length works that incorporate all of us dancing the entire time for 35 to 50 minutes in one full-length piece. And we did one show that was a collection of smaller works. So it was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 10 shorter dance pieces. And it's mostly been, in theaters that we've done this, but then we were in Connecticut and we danced out on the grass for like kind of an outdoor spring festival. In Poland, we danced in like an old abandoned train station on like this little makeshift stage they had. Got covered in like black and grime by the end of it. So we've kind of been in a couple like slightly interesting venues. But, and this year we're going to be in Spirit Wind, which I think will be very clean and refreshing.
Yes. Another thing is the performances we've put on in the Fringe have had this really interesting restriction in that it was really hard to get people off stage. So, we talk about the community and we talk about, partnering and all this sort of dance, and it happens with all of us on stage all the time, which at first, was kind of an oppressive restriction, but I think that we've really grown excited about and made the most of. So that was a characteristic of two of our evening length pieces. It always comes up. We always have to talk about it. But when we're choreographing, we're not explicitly political. I'd say we're aware, you have to be, about, does this, cross any sort of line? Is this making, such an explicit statement about a contemporary issue? But I think our general aim is a little bit more universalist, and we leave it up to the audience to make those sort of political contemporary connections, which I think are valid, and which we keep in mind, but don't choreograph explicitly towards.
It's really important. I mean, it's where we got our start, and this will be our third performance, our fourth year engaged in the process of the Fringe, which is another story. And as Sarah said, we've performed elsewhere, but in a way, this sort of feels like coming home a little bit each time we do the Fringe. And we certainly hope to be considered for live arts in the future because we'd like to reach a larger audience.
We've grown and developed.
Yeah.
I mean, we got, our first little seed was this, kind of makeshift performance that we tested out in the Fringe. It just keeps getting stronger and better, and this bigger fan base, and like more people coming out, and like people who we've never met before. The first year was like all our friends in the audience, and now people who we've never met are like, oh, like I heard about you through so and so and so and so, and they said you were really interesting, and so I came in to check it out, and it just keeps kind of expanding in this exciting way. Oh man, I think it has to be all of it. I mean, it takes so much strength and energy to just go in there and dance like all day, every day, and to get up in the morning and be like, okay, I'm dancing another day, and just putting all your mind into it, and it becomes like your baby after a while. Like so much of you is in this choreography, and I think that's another way we've really grown. Like at first it was really hard to give up any material. Now we we make tons of material and we're able to edit and throw out like 3/4 of it. It's just it's like painstaking at the end of the day to like put this thing together.
And part of it is you think about how much each summer, we all have to give up, how much we've had to give up to get back here. And, you say, okay, I've made these specific plans, and you think about career and you think about future, but it always ends up getting pulled back to this because, all in terms of heart, it's completely sincere and we're all completely invested.
I mean, this year we all made the choice to leave Boston, London, Austria, and Russia to come here together and work on this project. So I think
we're at very different places in our lives and have been coming from very different things over the past 2 years. But we love Green Share and we're very committed to it, and we're very committed to dancing as a form of expression and as something that has important things to say. Okay, so we made this dance for emergency use only last summer at this time for the 2006 Fringe Festival.
Arbitrary title, just thought it was kind of interesting to call our dance for emergency use only.
Yeah, I mean, we were playing choreographically with the idea of emergency and how we react physically to an emergency, where the silence is, where the panic is.
Helping each other, rescuing each other.
Right. But then a week before the performance, Sarah and our director, Ben, were in a car accident. And Sarah's nose was broken in 3 places. There's
like
a lot of
serious
blood
total
everywhere.
airbags deploying, like
Terrifying.
jaws of life, getting bent out of the car, like going away in different ambulances, trauma wards, like hardcore car accident. Yeah. So broke my nose, like smashed across my face, bruised, couldn't move, and we ended up canceling our show, like making the decision to cancel our show because, I mean, as we've said, the work is so collaborative and like so integrated with all four of us, it was just impossible to pull somebody else in 2 days and teach them the entire dance, or you know, to cut out a person from the dance. So we had to cancel our show last year. But the positive side of it is that we had a lot of support. Tons of people sent us emails with warm wishes, like live arts and Fringe people were really concerned about us, and people, you know, came to the venue, and we stood outside our venues when we were supposed to be performing to sort of, you know, let people know what was going on in case they'd missed the cancellation notices. And everybody was so warm and pleasant about it, and, you know, wished us well. And so now we are back, better than ever this year, to do the show again. We've revamped it. It's going to be really, really strong, and we're excited to be like healthy and safe this year and actually get to do our show finally for emergency use only.
All right, so this is a short excerpt from For Emergency Use Only, one of the more dancey bits, and we title our sections, little sections, and this section is called Flippy.
We're a green chair dance group, and you can see us at the Spirit Wind Performance Space, 213 New Street in Old City, Philadelphia. September 7th at 8 p.m., September 8th at 6 p.m., and September 12th at 8:30 p.m.
We are a green chair dance group, and you're watching Fringe TV!